I'm Katrina, and this is Sow and Tare. And today, I want to talk about something that's been going on here. I'm in Oregon. Oregon is a timber state. There are lands that own timber. There are people that log their lands and all of this. So that is something that happens here. I know a lot of other places are like, you know, don't cut the forest, don't cut this and all that. And yeah, full intact forest. It's hard to see it go. It's even hard to see this go. But it is a reality of our society that we use wood. So if we use wood, they come from somewhere. That somewhere is trees. So you can see over here, that whole hillside's bare. They've done a flat part right here, and then they're actually going up into this hill, which I thought was someone else's property, but I guess not. And I don't know if they're going to do that whole hill. But the trees fall very quickly. I'll zoom in. You know, right now they're cutting on this edge right here, and they're felling the trees so they fall downhill. And what they'll do is, what I'm predicting they'll do is, once they've felled all the trees that they're doing, I don't know if they're doing a whole hill or not. I kind of think they are, which is unfortunate because it's so pretty. But once they do that, then they'll go up to the top and bring them up. That's how they do the logging around here. So like that's how, right in here, that's how they have that, is those were on top, and then they cable them and pull them up. So that's something that's happening here, and I wanted to share that with you guys. And then also just say, you know, I moved here knowing that, you know, that there's timberland around. Mama Kitty and Ringo are coming. Like, what are you doing in the pasture without me? Either, you know, there's timberland around, and it will be harvested at some point. Now, around here, it's a 30 to 40 year wait. So at least if they're harvesting it now, right here, then it will be 30 to 40 years before they do it again. So it'll take a few years before that gets green again. They plant the seedlings when they're like this big. But yeah, that is what's going on here. So you'll see in future videos that whole hillside might be bare. Hi, Ringo. You need to say hi? Ringo needs to say hi. Turn around. All the way. Oh, and you're caught in my hair. Okay. So, so that's what's going on. And, honey. Okay, bye. And so if you are wondering what's going on in future videos, that's what's happening, is that is currently being logged. Hi, Mama Kitty. And the thing is, I've been waking up to chainsaws for probably a couple months now with all this project, and it's a little wearing. I will say that, but I will also say once it's done for 30 to 40 years. So there you go. Also, because of the fire danger right now, they start super early in the morning, like as soon as they can see, like before the sun's up, as soon as they can see, chainsaws, and then they stop before it gets into the afternoon. I don't remember what time they're stopping now, but they're stopping when it was hotter. I don't think they were even out there, but basically what's required of these companies, as far as I understand, and I could be incorrect, is you have a fire watch person, and that person has to stay a set amount of time after everybody else is gone to watch for fire. And the fire risk for using chainsaws, because that's what they're using up there. I've heard there's at least 2. Mama Kitty wants to roll here. You really want pets today, huh? No. So there's someone that watches it for a set amount of time after all the machinery is done. And when that happens, chainsaws can create sparks if they hit a rock, if they hit a nail. Up there, there's not going to be any nails. But if they hit something hard, it can create a spark. And that spark can then set everything on fire. So that is... that's the reason why in fire season, which we're in right now, there are limitations on when you can do certain things like mowing your lawn. If you have a non-battery operated, like, I don't remember all the rules, but because I don't have a lawnmower, I have a weed whip. My electric weed whip, which is a battery operated one, can be used, I think, at any time. But if you have a gas powered one, that's another one that can start, you know, and I think they're concerned because there's gas out there. People even have, like, if you have bees, there's cautionary things that you do with bees, because you don't you either use a smoker in a certain way, put it in a metal bucket, you know, all of that stuff, or use something different, use almond oil or something else. I'm not totally experienced in that yet, but that was surprising for me to hear, but also makes sense. So yeah, but with all these chainsawing going on, the peaceful mornings have been less peaceful. But they go through that in no time at all. These areas were planted about 30 years ago, I think, and I think they do 200 trees an acre minimum. Yeah, so there's really not much for them to push through understory wise, is because it's been stripped 30 years ago, so whatever came in since then. But they actually just have been taking down trees for so long. So anyway, that's why I wanted to show you guys, kind of give you an explanation of why you might see bare hills. and it's okay. It's what they do. It's how you get the wood. It's how you get, you know, your building materials for your house, or even the pellets for your pellet stove. Oftentimes those are Douglas fir. These are Douglas fir that is planted. They primarily plant Douglas fir here because it's fast growing, and it's native, but it's fast growing. So that's what they do. And then also, yeah, I'll probably do an update when they're done, but yeah, I'm expecting, now that I know they're going uphill, I don't know where the property line is, but they might be doing the whole hill. Yeah, that was a tree that fell down. There's been some big trees, well, big thuds at least, of falling trees, for sure. So I'm gonna let this record while I feed bunnies down here, and hopefully I'll pick up, you know, I'll pick up some trees falling that I can zoom in on and you guys can see, and go from there. So thank you for watching. I hope that this was at least informative. I don't know if it's enjoyable or not, but it's informative. These guys are limited by the fire standards, so they do start super early. Log trucks going and all that too. So anyway, I will let you guys watch for falling trees, and hit that like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Usually I do homesteading stuff here, but I figured this was an opportunity to show you guys something that's happening that you might not see on a regular basis. So anyway, thanks for watching and have a wonderful day. The other positive things this does is it creates a fire break, so at least there's that.
Mm-hmm.